Hey guys, it's your rock girl Sierra, and I'm sitting down with Matt B from Ashes to New. How are you doing?
I'm good. You just asked me that, though, and you wanted me to be 100% sure that I'm good.
Yes.
And I am. I'm good.
I needed a genuine answer and not just a, like, in passing, this is because I have to.
Term of endearment type thing. Where it's
like genuine.
Hey, what's up? How are you? I'm good. How are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
We've had plenty of people that we've asked, and they're like, I'm fine, but for show.
So I don't know if you've ever seen us live or if you've ever seen me talk mid-set, but I will 100% tell you if I'm not okay.
So it's really funny that you say that because one of the things I wanted to ask you about was that speech that you gave, or I guess you would say your therapy session that you had at Louder Than Life. So you spoke about some of your struggles with mental health. So how has your tour been since expressing that? Like, how have the fans responded to you being that genuine and honest with them about how you were doing?
I get a lot of hugs in VIP. Yeah,
I did see that.
Yeah. Everyone's super caring. I was having a really bad crisis at the moment of Louder Than Life. And it was one that was kind of ongoing. It wasn't just like that day, but it kind of really peaked within that like week period. And that day was like really hard for me. And I always talk in between certain songs in our sets. There's always like a space that is allotted for me to say something. Usually whatever's on my mind, I just riff and I'm just like, oh, whatever. Yeah. This is what's on my mind today. We'll see what happens. And I was feeling just extra pissed off before we went on stage. And I said to Danny, I was like, I don't think I got anything to say today, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, what? And I was like, I don't think I have anything that I really want to say out there. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. I did notice that you kept apologizing to Danny in the clip. You're like, sorry, Danny, hold on. Give me one more minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just didn't know. And he like right before we took the stage, he was like, just say whatever you're feeling, bro. And I'm like, okay, if that's what you want. And you know, the response to it was overwhelmingly positive. There's always a couple people that are just like, oh, you know, what does he know? What is he, you know, why is he talking about that? Shut up and perform or whatever. And it's like, I got a microphone, and not just for the people in the crowd that find stuff like going to shows therapeutic. I find being a performer my therapy, and that was my moment to get through a really hard time, and it was really helpful. So I'll continue to do it.
Honestly, it was pretty inspirational to see you just open up about it too, because it's very easy, like we said, to just say I'm fine, I'm good, and move on.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was really nice. I know you said you were going through a struggle, and I sympathize with that. But
thank you.
It was nice to see you not just try to put a front up and like BS your way through the talking point.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things is that that I've noticed, like, you know, you always say, like, talk to someone close to you, talk to someone that you know.
Talk to a stranger.
Yeah, right? Like, sometimes you just need that unbiased opinion, right? And I think that, like, for me, like, I can say the things that I'm going through to the people around me, and they're gonna be receptive to it. They're definitely gonna be empathetic. A lot of people are gonna be like, oh, man, sorry to hear that. But, like, it doesn't necessarily feel cathartic in a way, right? And, like, for some reason, for me, just being able to open up while I'm on stage, because I'm already in kind of like adrenaline mode. So like,
well, these people
whatever just comes out, you know what I mean?
So,
well, yeah, that, and like, you know, knowing that people feel the same way and they feel like they can't do it either. Like, I mean, there was a lot of people just from that moment. They were like, oh, I feel like I can do this now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like and that wasn't my goal or my intention. Like I said, my intention was I had nothing to say. And then I was like, I'm just going to say it, I guess, because he said I should.
Yeah.
But then after that, people were like, you helped me, you know, open up, or, you know, I had, we played in St. Louis, was the next show, and a mother was there with her son, and I kind of did something similar. It wasn't the same thing because I was not feeling that same way, but it was something similar, and I actually brought up what I said at Louder Than Life. And her son, I guess, within the next several nights tried to commit suicide, teenage son. And I guess she found him in time to get him to the hospital and get him the treatment that he needed. And I guess when he woke up from whatever the attempt was, he said to her, he's like, you know, listening to what Matt said at the show in St. Louis, like, I want to get help. Like, you know, he's right. Like, and for me, the moment isn't about I'm right or I'm wrong or I'm doing what I'm doing or whatever. Yeah. The moment is that there was something that clicked for him, even though it was after the fact. There was something that clicked for him to say, okay, I'm not right. I need to do something. Mom, I want to get help. And I think that a lot of us have been there, especially as teenagers. Being a teenager is fucking confusing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so if I could be a voice sometimes just talking about the stuff that's going on in my head, if that helps other people, then I'm just going to keep doing it.
Well, it was nice, too, to see you take the taboo away from, like you said, sometimes just going to friends or family itch what needs to be itched. Like, it doesn't help you in the way that you think, because they're there, they care about you. But when you're voicing it to someone who cares about you in a different way that doesn't necessarily know you, it just it helps, because you can vent without feeling that bias, like you said.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, I think we're so used to being judged by people. Like, that's like, social media especially is like just like one big high school, cafeteria. So like I feel like we're so used to being judged by people, and like when you get like positive reinforcement, it really helps from people that you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so
it boosts that confidence to be able to do more of that. So when you did it, it helped boost someone's confidence to be like, I can get the help. Someone I look up to did it, I can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, and again, not my intentions, but if that's what it does, then I'm more than grateful.
Yeah, that's amazing, especially when you don't expect it to happen that way. So, can you tell us a little bit about how, since we're on the topic of mental health, how touring affects your mental health, being away from family, and
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Being away from family for me, because you said you have a toddler, so do I.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a full-grown son, too. He's going to be going to college next year, wildly enough. But I also
have... text back when you say love you, and they're like, yeah, you too.
Yeah, well,
the toddlers
he's still
like,
good with it, though. He's still like, I love you too, Dad, but it's very seldom, right? I have to I'd be like, hey, stranger, what's up, dude? How you been? You know what I mean? My toddler, I'm going to get this wrong. I think he's almost 20 months. What's the date today? We're November, the beginning of November. He's not 20 months yet. He's 19 months. So yeah, I'm missing a lot of the really good stuff. You know what I mean? When I'm on tour. So it drives me a little crazy. Luckily, we have technology. We have FaceTime.
I was going to say, it's nice that you can still connect in a way, but I get it. Like, even I went on a cruise for a couple of days, and just the FaceTime, it's not the same.
It's not.
Holding their little hand.
That's the whole thing, right? Like, I love picking him up and just going everywhere.
Yes.
Like, he's just like,
yeah.
This is my dude right here.
There's a lot of passing moments when they're that age. But so what do you do when you are feeling that way? Do you just pick up the phone and do a FaceTime? Like, what is something that you look to?
See, that's the toughest thing is I'm not like, I don't really do anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't like hang out. I typically don't do really anything while I'm on tour. So it makes it tougher for sure. Cause like, I'm just like sitting there in my head going, all right, this sucks. This moment sucks.
You need a healthy outlet.
So so doing I really actually look forward to our VIPs. I've heard I've heard for a very long time that a lot of artists don't actually enjoy doing VIPs. They don't actually, and I'm not speaking on anyone in particular. I've just heard it.
Yeah.
For me, I love it. Because it's a moment for me to get out there, hang out with people, and just have a good time. It's the same thing with playing on stage. Like last night, unfortunately, our show got canceled, and it was just there was an issue with the venue, and it got canceled, and I was like, damn, now what do I do?
That would have been a good outlet.
Yeah. Oh, getting on that. I mean, if you see me live, like, it's cathartic. I get up, like I said, I speak in between songs. Like, I get up there and I scream and I yell and I jump around and I don't care what I look like to people. Like, it's my moment and I enjoy it and I have fun with it. And when I don't get it, there's really not a lot of stuff in between. So it's kind of sitting around and just waiting for the day to go by.
Sitting around trying not to get in your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the other thing is I may be a little jaded because I've toured for a long time and like I've seen and done pretty much everything that's like, hey, what did you do in that city today? It's like, I don't know. I went and got some sushi or something. I don't know.
Right. I went to their local 7-Eleven and saw what the layout was there. And
everyone's watching and like, dude, this Mac guy's a sad guy. What's up with him? I promise I'm not a sad dude. It's just,
not sad. Sad.
I do have a kid at home that I would love to see more than I don't. Does that make sense? More than I do. Yeah.
Well, so a lot of people turn to music when they feel these types of struggles. So what's some of your go-to music that you listen to when you're just hanging out or when you're feeling a type of way?
I listen to some of the stuff that you would expect. And then I listen to, like, my favorite group right now is called The Midnight. I don't know if you know who they are. They're kind of blowing up, too, which is really cool. But they're like 80s synthwave sound.
Nice.
So they sound modern, kind of poppy in a way, but their music is like synthwave, like modern synthwave. I don't know. It's
so they're like bringing two different types together.
Yeah, they kind of they blend some genres for sure.
That sounds.
They're really
similar
cool.
to someone else.
They're like super nostalgic feeling. Like they feel like the 90s, but they also feel like super fresh. So it's like
that's nice though.
Yeah. And I love NF. And I just saw that he's coming out with something new. And I love all the stuff that, I listen to a lot of Bring Me the Horizon, Falling in Reverse, Bad Omens,
Oh yeah.
all the big ones on our side of the industry for sure.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of obscure stuff too, but we could talk about this for an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say, before we go down too far of a rabbit hole, you did say the word new. So New Disease was released earlier this year. Can you break down the song for us?
Yes and no. So I'm going to keep it a little bit open-ended.
Okay.
Yeah, because, so I saw an interview with Dave Grohl, and he was talking about how he doesn't like to talk about what their songs are about. Like when he's asked, he doesn't talk about it because he wants people to have their moment with the song.
Right.
Like, what does the song
Open
mean to the listener?
Yeah.
Exactly. He's like, so if I tell you what the song is about, he's like, it changes what it means to you, and it just makes it what it means to me. That being said, I don't know that New Disease is very prolific in that sense, because it is about people doing dumb stuff to like get notoriety, like just basically risking their lives on social media or risking their reputation, which some people, reputation doesn't matter, I guess, but like just doing really ridiculous stuff that they're just hoping to get likes and follows from.
Right.
And kind of just like
clickbaity.
Yeah, like, it says like,
behavior.
we're all dying just to be part of a new disease. Really, it's like we're all just dying. We're all, like, the literal sense of that is we're all just killing ourselves for some new trend or some new wave of notoriety.
Absolutely.
So for me, like, when I was writing my parts to the song, one of the things that kept popping up in my head is, I don't know if you remember, there was a trend where people were on like speedboats or just boats in general, and they would like fall off the back of the boat. I don't know if you remember ever seeing that.
No.
It was a trend that people were doing. So they go out on a lake or a river or whatever, and the boat would be speeding along, and they would stand on the back of the boat, and then they would just fall off the back of the boat. And they were doing that like it was a trend that was happening. The problem is that when you're going those speeds and you hit the water like that, it pulls your head. And people were dying because it was actually separating their vertebrae.
Oh my gosh.
In their neck, and it was killing them.
Right.
And it's like, for what?
But everybody wants the likes and the views.
Right.
And so we're willing to either do or say like the most ridiculous things and even potentially harm ourselves or our reputation, like you said, just to be a part of that.
Just to be popular.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. I mean, I was never the popular kid in school, so maybe that's why.
Absolutely.
But like, you know what I mean? But like, to
Understood.
me, it's just insanity. Like, do you remember the milk crate challenge? Do you remember when they would
were climbing
stack
them?
the milk crates and everyone would climb them, and people would like seriously mess themselves up?
Or the
climbing
really
these
young kids with the Tide Pods and like
that's even
it's
better.
just, like,
Yeah, eating Tide Pods, drinking bleach, like doing really dumb shit. Like, it's like, my God.
So it almost makes you wonder, like, not in a crappy way, but what's going on that you need this attention from, risking everything else for. Like,
well, I mean, I think everything stems from when we're kids, right? So whatever that childhood trauma is what's making you do that. But that's a whole different conversation for a whole
another
other day.
rabbit hole that we could go down.
But like, yeah, for sure. Like, so for me, it's mind blowing, and I wanted to create a song about it.
Yeah.
We wanted to create a song about just, living with nothing to believe in other than following a trend is just an insane idea to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. I feel like, especially in this climate right now with everything going on, it's like people are really willing to risk like their jobs and everything else.
It's crazy. I run our social media. I run my social media, the band's social media, but I have largely from everything else disconnected.
Yeah.
Like, I can't take it anymore. I just cannot take it anymore. Like, there was like a moment just recently, like someone was trying to like cancel me for saying that I don't like politics, and it was just saying like politicians suck, and I'm not trying to get political here, but it's like, why am I trying to be canceled for that? You know what I mean? It's like you almost feel like you can't even say anything anymore.
Even being unbiased will.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand, like, it's like, oh, pick a side or whatever, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get into it. Like, I certainly understand the mindset and the point of view that people have. Like, I get it, but everything's just so escalated now.
Yeah.
Everything is just so hot button topic
it's like
now.
life or death
and
everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like, listen, I'm all for people having their views, beliefs, opinions, whatever they want. I don't care, do it. But for me, largely, I have to disconnect. Like, I just like, I'm too empathetic in a way that like I care about literally everybody.
Everyone.
Like, even some of the I won't say the shittiest of people, but I'll say even people that probably don't deserve a second chance.
Yeah.
I might care about them in a way. Like, I try not to judge people. I try not to be part of all that stuff. Like, for me, like, I just love people, and I want to see people do good.
It just hurts. Yeah, to see it. So you don't even want to see it.
Yeah.
No,
Not that I don't appreciate movements and things that
Right.
are important.
Right.
I just
But
don't
you
want to
know
be
it's not
in the
healthy
middle
for
of.
you.
Yeah, for me myself, I've got to disconnect because it just stresses me the hell out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, based on what you said about New Disease and staying a little vague, is there anything you can tell us about the album? Is there a theme? Is there?
That's even more
anything?
vague. No.
Exactly. There you go. So,
That's a short answer.
well, that's easy then.
Yeah, I can't
Then it won't get you in trouble.
Nah, there's no trouble to be had. I don't know when it's coming out. We don't have a date. We do have a lot of music done, and we're kind of inching our way to that release date or whatever it's going to be. But I don't want to give away anything about it.
No, that's
yet.
fair.
Yeah,
It'll be a surprise.
that's right. It's going to be a surprise.
All right. So I've heard in other interviews that you kind of wanted a different style of sound, which, as you know, is difficult because there's so many different combinations of things going on. So I just want to know like where you got your style from and kind of what some of your like rapping inspirations were.
For sure. So everyone thinks that we are largely inspired by Linkin Park. Like that's the idea is like
Right.
there's not a lot of bands that do what we do. So you know they're obviously the goats. So you know
Yeah.
you're gonna
But
you're gonna
even
get the
they have a
comparison.
different sound. Like you have a very distinct sound to your music.
Yeah,
so-
thank you. I like to
Yeah.
think so as well. There's a lot of bands that are doing this now. There's a lot of bands that are doing it well. There's a lot of bands that have done it well in the past, and they just Linkin Park happens to be the biggest. I think that if you think
Yeah.
of this style of music, you think them. So
First go-to,
so a lot
yeah.
of people, you know, they automatically go, oh well, From Ashes to New's biggest influence is Linkin Park, obviously. In a way, because I grew up on them, just like everybody else did. So I'm sure subconsciously they definitely influenced me. My biggest influence is Eminem. It's just
Right, yeah.
that era. You know what I mean? Like so, early Eminem was like the voice I didn't have. So it was like some of the stuff that he said was not the voice I didn't have, but I loved it and thought it was funny. And some of the stuff that he did say, like songs like "The Way I Am," that was like my anthem. As a teenager, I was like, "Yeah, I am whatever you say I am." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. And if I wasn't, you know, I could keep going. But that song was like, okay, yeah,
stuck.
that's me.
It made an impression,
You know,
yeah.
And then new metal, and it kind of spiraled. And then like I got into I was actually not into metalcore when it first came out. I was
Really?
I was still a big new metal kid. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
like I love Korn,
not a
Slipknot,
phase.
Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all that. It's not. It wasn't
Yeah,
a phase, right?
no.
Not at all. So
How old are we?
Yeah, right. Jesus, I don't know. Next year, a little older, right? So like I was still really into that when metalcore came out and like was really taking over the scene. And one of my friends, he was actually in one of my bands. He was really into Day to Remember, and he was like, "You got to listen to this stuff." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I don't really want to. Like, I don't mess with metalcore stuff." And then UB Tales, "I'll Be Sonic," which is a very specific song of theirs. I fell in love with it. I was like, "This is so cool." And from ADTR, it kind of spiraled, and Mice and Men became like
Yep.
my favorite metalcore band. Like I really loved Of Mice and Men, and I still do. Awesome guys. And then I was like, ooh, I kind of want to put all this together. Like this
Yeah.
is like really cool. Like, you know, and I was playing in bands. I was playing guitar. I wasn't doing really anything like
How can we do a cool little mashup
Yeah,
of all these
and
different sounds?
I was going through a period in my life where I was battling with addiction, and I was battling with a lot of bad choices that I was making, and I decided that I was going to change it. I literally looked at myself in the mirror. It wasn't one of those things where it's like metaphorically looked at myself in the mirror. I literally looked at myself in the mirror
physically.
and was like, I hate this guy. So like I started changing my life around, and when I started changing my life around, I was going to the gym and I was putting on whatever radio it was, and Hollywood Undead kept coming on. Just like over and over and over again, Hollywood Undead just kept coming on my station. And I was like, oh, I love this band. Like, and I had known them and listened to them before that, but they were like there.
Yeah.
And I wrote a lyric for the band that I was in at the time. It was Bridges Burn, From Demons We Grew, We Rise, From Ashes to New. And so my life was like in this pivotal moment where I needed to make all these changes, or I literally was going to die. Most of my friends were dying. So I literally was going to die, or I had to make these pivotal changes. And I made these changes with that lyric that I kept from that band, and Hollywood Undead was in my ears all the time. And I was like, I want to do a band that sounds like metalcore and Hollywood Undead.
Yeah.
So if you look at the biggest inspirations to me in starting the band, Eminem, because that just comes from my rap background. Metalcore, you're going to look at probably A Day to Remember and Of Mice and Men, and then the genre that we are, 100% Hollywood Undead.
So you could just have all three of them playing at the same time and just completely get your vibe.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love all their music.